Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video and another premium aircraft added to the Danger Zone update. And we have an Italian one this time, and well, it's the AERFER, I think it's called, Ariete, which is basically a more kind of a better version of the Sagittario that we have, you know. So yeah, it's a very interesting aircraft. It's basically the same as the Sagittario, but it has another engine on the back of the aircraft. As you see right there on the bottom of the screen, you can see the intake of it, and it has another engine on the back. It's a very, very small engine, like 700 kilos or something of power. So yeah, it's really, really weak engine. Same gun, same everything. The BR is kind of high, as you see. I'm facing a lot of, you know, 10.0s, 9.7s and stuff like that. You are going to face a lot of those if you buy this aircraft. And yeah, because it is 9.3, so yeah, it's complicated for that, but doesn't mean that it's not good, you know. You have to be careful with a couple of things that I'm going to talk about, but in general, it is I mean, it's like a 7 point out of 7 out of 7 out of 10 aircraft. You know, it's not the best premium out there, but it is very good. And depending on how you want to play the aircraft and stuff, the way that you like to play the game, it is worth it. You know, I think it's, you know, the Sagittario, for example, was kind of OP for a long time, and then they changed the BR, and that's why it's 9.3 this version. As you see, I'm killing F5s and stuff like that. So yeah, this aircraft can now turn an F5 in a raid fight, which is really, really good, you know. So basically you will win basically every single dogfight that you get into it. So you have to think about that. It's very, very, very light. The empty weight of this aircraft is like 2,000 something kilograms, so it's like half the weight of like it's 15% less weight than the MiG-15, for example, and more than less than less than the Sabre, for example. So it's very, very, very light. With two engines, it becomes kind of a, you know, it has like 0.7 thrust weight, so it is really, really light and very strong for its weight, you know. Which means what? It means that it can turn a lot and can accelerate a lot. It can go Mach 1, but only in a dive. I try to get it up to 12,000, 12,000 meters, 30 something thousand feet, 36, 37,000 feet, and it was just, it cannot do that. So it's really hard on the, that was kind of a, almost a steal. But yeah, it's a very, very nimble jet, very fast and very dogfightable. You know, it's it doesn't have missiles or anything, and the cannons are very unique. Also, you're going to see me missing a lot of shots because I'm actually getting used to it. They are very fast, but not as fast as you think. So you kind of lose the track on where the shots are sometimes. You know, so you're going to see me losing a lot of shots, but it's just kind of, you know, it's kind of weird, but it is the HS 285. It's a very unusual cannon. It's Pano-Suiza cannon. So yeah, it has a very long barrel, so it becomes a, I mean, it has like 1,000 meters per second of muzzle velocity or something like that. So it's really, really good muzzle velocity. So yeah, pretty good gun. The rate of fire is very good, but the ammo is not that much, so you have to be careful, okay? The engines turn, they tend to overheat a little bit, so you have to think about that as well in most of the more heated maps, like desert maps and stuff like that. The fuel, I mean, I would advise you guys to use 20 minutes, but if you use it at 9, it will be a god in acceleration. So yeah, it's really light, very, very, very nimble, and just a very interesting aircraft, to say the least. You know, I never flew too much of the Sagittario, so this was kind of a surprise for me. I don't like this like 50s aircraft normally, but yeah, they're very, very interesting. And at the start of the battle, even I can out accelerate most of the aircraft that you fly with. So it is one of the most. I mean, it can like climb at 900 kilometers per hour, maintaining like 20 something degrees sometimes. So yeah, it's really good at that. It's really good at climbing, really good at dogfight especially. So yeah, but you have to think that even though you are a 9.3, this would be the worst thing about this aircraft is that it faces a lot of up tiers, like a lot of up tiers. So you have to consider that before buying it because you're going to face a lot of 10.3s and 10.0s, a lot of F-Force Cs, a lot of MiG-21s of multiple nations. You know, the SPS can be a pain in the ass sometimes with this, and the A5 can be problematic as well. So you see a lot of these type of aircraft, the F5 of course, and even the AV8s, they can climb a lot and then shoot you the M9 Gs from very far away, and then ended up killing you. You know. So yeah, as you're going to see in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to rate fight some aircraft, and you're going to see that you can basically win any dogfight in this aircraft. It's a very comfortable aircraft to fly in this manner, but it has some very bad problems with compression in the roll rate. In the elevator is kind of alright, but in the roll rate it makes you lose some shots, you know. So yeah, consider that as well. So you kind of should slow down a little bit before attacking somebody if you are Mach 9 plus, you know, 0.9, you know. So yeah, but the thing is, it is a very good dogfighter. As you're going to see, my pilot just passes out a lot. Not passes out, but he's just like wanting to sleep a lot. It's just because it's pulling 12 to more than that continuously for a long time, and it just goes. You know, it's really good at it. As you see, we entered in kind of a rate fight with a slight disadvantage here against an F3. And yeah, the F3 is not the most amazing thing ever, but it has a good turning ratio. But as you see, it's losing speed. MiG-21 is attacking me. I have a friend over there calling everybody that is trying to kill me as well. But as you see, yeah, he lost all the energy that he had, and he was trying to attack somebody and ended up getting the critical hit on it. And then 2 MiG-21, as you're going to see, I'm going to continue the rate fight here against an SPS. And I mean, it's an aircraft that was kind of similar to a late 40s aircraft, you know. It was built in the late 50s, but still, it is not the most amazing aircraft in that, you know. And it's facing like middle of the 60s aircraft, like the 21, like the F5, and getting away with it, which is kind of funny. As you're going to see right here, even the acceleration is such an amazing one that you can out accelerate an SPS, for example. He's climbing a little bit, and I was kind of maintaining the altitude, but still, look at me like trying to reach him. So yeah, the most problematic thing about this aircraft is the BR. So if you're going to consider buying it, I don't think it's worth it really, because I don't think the Italian Tech 3 really needs a premium to help it out, you know. I think of course Gaijin added, but what I mean is that the line is such a easy one to grind in general. It's very small, you know, so you don't really need it. If you want, you can get an F104S and get just the G and get a talisman, and it's good to go, you know. So, but it is a very fun aircraft. If you like this type of very light aircraft, nimble and, you know, like I said, dogfightable, you know, it's really probably your cup of tea, you know, because it's just, look at this. I mean, I can make, of course, that F5 is kind of has payloads and stuff, but I mean, I'm out-turning everybody. Like, on a rate fight, I'm not even doing anything. It's just really good. And the engine on the back, it really helps. The aircraft, it really does help it. I mean, I think it's one of those things that even though it's not a lot of power on the back engine, but it's enough, you know. It's basically 50% of the power of the main engine, and it just makes it so that you get a little bit more of a turn capability, I think, and a little bit more acceleration. And the way that you turn a little bit more, in my way of thinking, is that the weight, of course, is after the center of gravity of the aircraft, because it's right on the back, and just that makes it so that it is a little bit more unstable, and in general a little bit more maneuverable, you know, in raid fights and stuff like that. You can lose a little bit more energy, but of course it's a little bit faster in turning, you know, I think. So yeah, a very capable aircraft. As I said, I always say I always say this. It's complicated to say that for everybody it's worth it. I think there's way better premiums that you can have, you know, in general. So like the MiG-21S and the SPS are always a pick of mine. Of course, the Milan, I think it's a good addition as well. Even though right now, not the greatest thing ever, because the BR is kind of complicated, but still, it's like that. This one, probably because of the F-14 and stuff, you see a lot of other stuff. And just take a look on these AEA F-104s following that F5. Pay attention to that. It's going to be weird. But yeah, it's just one of those aircraft that it's not the most amazing thing ever, but it is not bad. I think the aircraft itself, it's amazing. But yeah, look at that. F-104 killing the F5. That helps, right? But the main thing is the BR. The BR, I don't know if it's because of the F-14 or anything like that. The Milan has has this problem as well, and the Lightning, of course, has this problem as well. You ended up facing a lot of premiums, a lot of top, up tiers, you know, 10.0s and stuff like that, which makes this aircraft a little bit worse than it should be. But after a while, probably everything is going to stabilize a little bit in the matchmaking, and you ended up having a very, very, very good aircraft. So as I said, if you're just wanting to buy one premium aircraft for any nation, I don't think this is the one for you. I still think that even the F5C, I didn't mention it in the other video a couple of days ago. But yeah, the F5C, of course, is a very good addition, you know, as a premium for your line. The SPS, as I said, the MiG-21S at 9.07 is amazing. The A5 is amazing. So there's a lot of those aircraft that are just a little bit better than this, in general, for my taste at least, because they have missiles and they're a little bit more modern. Of course, I will enjoy more flying a MiG-21 than this, you know. A MiG-21 is a MiG-21, or the F5, you know, they are more known aircraft and stuff like that. So you have to consider that if you are going to expend that much money on an aircraft like this. I think it's $60 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's expensive, you know. So I don't know if it's that much or if it's G, because when you get the rental, you kind of cannot tell if it's something or not. But anyway, I think it's, even though after all that, I think it's still a very fun aircraft. So if you are a fan of the Italian Tech 3, and especially if you are a fan of the Sagittario, I think it's worth it. You know, if you really enjoy the Sagittario and you want something to help grind the top tiers and stuff like that, I mean, look at these shots. Jesus. It's the aircraft for you, okay? It's very nimble, as I said, very light, doesn't have anything else on it, but it is just good at doing that. So yeah, have that in mind, and consider that it's not the most amazing premium aircraft in the game. As I said, I mean, Italian 3 is not the most complicated one to grind, so probably not worth it, but you can try it out and see for yourself. You can test fly it, everything, so just to check it out. And yeah, but as you see, you ended up missing a lot of shots. I don't know what was I thinking about this. Jesus Christ, look at that. Look how many shots I miss. It's just embarrassing. I kinda didn't want to show this clip, but you know, you have to show it because to people know that maybe it's just me, but I found it that it's a very weird gun to actually learn how to use it. Very weird. But yeah, anyway, continue. Of course, we had the English Electric Lightning video yesterday, so check that out. And yeah, that was a close one. With the F53, which is the export variant of the 6 Lightning, so pretty interesting. And we are going to see the MatAWG video today also for you to take a look on how it performs and stuff. As I said, the MatAWG is kind of complicated because of the BR, but it is an amazing aircraft also. So make sure to subscribe, be a member, and click the little bell icon, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.